أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه وبعد. We continue with the series of the world of Jinn and the devils. And last time we talked about the different ways that the shaitan can harm the human being. The different ways that the Jinn or shaitan can harm a human being. Seizure, for example, that's where we stopped. Seizure, somebody has seizure, can be from medical reasons, and that's why when anybody comes with seizure and say I have jinn or sihr or this, we say go to the doctor first. They make a brain scan and they make all of that, and if it's all the doctors clear it and say that this person is good, then we read the ruqya and we try to do that. And the Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, at the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, a person comes with seizure, his son with seizures, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam goes close to the mouth of the person and he tells him, come out the enemy of Allah, I am the messenger of Allah. He's talking to the jinn, and then that came out and the boy walked healthy and strong. That happened at the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, his son Abdullah asked him one time, he says that some people, oh my father, some people say that the jinn cannot enter the body of the person with epilepsy or seizure. He said, Ya bunayya yakthibun, they lie. هذا يتكلم على لسانه, and the jinn talks on the tongue of the human. And Ibn Taymiyyah, rahimahullah, he said that this is a very famous statement of Imam Ahmad, and a person would be, having seizure, and he would talk with the tongue that nobody knows, or he himself does not speak. And he will, people will do different things, and when he wakes up, he would not know what happens. Some people like that, by the way. Some people like that. I remember when I was in the high school, there was one student that he had some problem with him. And I'm talking about Egypt now, and when we were in high school, and this is a town in remote areas in Giza. And then that high school student, start wearing sharwal kameez, Pakistani. All right? And then he started having these episodes of going in a trance or something, and actually started speaking Urdu. Yeah, and the reason is because I knew what Urdu is, because I was in Pakistan when I was young, and my father knew as well, and we saw that with our eyes. It's not like someone lying to us or something. We saw that with our eyes, and that kid, there's no way that he would know Urdu. He wouldn't. So he started speaking in Urdu words, and when he comes back to his senses, he does not know what actually took place. Yeah, so some sheikhs who started reading ruqya and all of that, until alhamdulillah he was not Urdu anymore. So كان عليه عفريت باكستاني يعني. He had عفريت from Pakistan. And maybe someone in Pakistan have عفريت from Egypt يعني, so don't feel bad. Huh? So it depends. Sometimes also some people, طبعا this is not a good way with everybody. Some people will have a stick or something like that, and they will hit the person who is having the jinn on them, and they will never they will not understand what happened, or they will not feel anything after that. Some people, they take it to the extreme and beat the guy to death. That's not right. Some people, they will, whenever you're reading ruqya on them, they will go in a state of not sleep, but they are not them. And when you read the ruqya, after a little bit, you see the person's eyes started rolling and changing. Then when you ask them, who are you? They do not answer, they don't know their name. And you keep reciting, a different reaction happens. Some people will start itching badly. Some people will start moving, jerking their hands and some people will try to hit the person who who's reciting. And sometimes it's a weak person, yani man or woman, their structure is little. But you find 2-3 people trying to hold them and they're not able to. Like that's also a sign. So there are different things. When we come to it, inshallah, we'll explain in details. But it is true. So some people, they say there is no jinn, there is nothing. Don't listen to that. Okay? Some people will deny the whole idea altogether. Allah Azza wa Jalla says, قُلْ أُوحِيَ إِلَيَّ أَنَّهُ اسْتَمَعَ نَفَرٌ مِنَ الْجِنِّ. يعني jinn mentioned in Quran. من الجنة والناس. Jinn موجودين. So that's number 1. Number 2, the jinn can see us, we cannot see them. Mentioned in Quran as well. And that the shaitan can touch the body of the human being. Mentioned in Quran as well. كالذي يتخبطه الشيطان من المس. يعني the mess of the shaitan. And the many hadith in Sahih Bukhari or Muslim there are shayateen, and the shaitan can be a snake, can be a dog, can we learned all of these things. So it is very hard to deny the presence of jinn or their interaction with human. Yeah, now people exaggerate in the way they interact with human. That's true. And as I told you, 99% of the cases there is no jinn, but there is 1% that there is. Yani every 100 cases they come, these people like either tired or have a psychological problem, depressed, stressed out. Yeah. 99% will come, and ask for, Sheikh, somebody did black magic to me. So how do you know that they did black magic to you? And you already decided. They come, and that's the part that I don't like. And I'm advising you, whenever you don't feel good, just go ask for ruqya, right? And then the raqi or the sheikh will know if there is something, big or something small or this or that after ruqya, yani starts. But don't say, I have black magic. Okay, you already decided, means why are you coming to me then? If you already find out. So then you recite and you say you don't have black magic. They don't believe you. They go to another sheikh and another sheikh until they find one of those money makers. Said, oh, black magic, big one. Sahih, and I'm telling you, I'm warning you, and this happens everywhere. And it does not matter. The person has no education or has PhD in atomic power. They all will come vulnerable in this one. All right? Once the person knows exactly what they're doing, they hypnotize. The way they speak, they kind of make you very convinced. Some people have that charisma, that ability. Whenever they talk, you believe them. And subhanallah, this is like magic in itself. Okay, so these people have that kind of gift, but they abuse it, wal-'iyadhu billah. So you trust someone so much, that person either will give you the good advice or will abuse it. Okay, so if you come and I said, oh, you have magic, oh, you have sihr, or you have 2 jinn, or you have a whole family in your body, the husband, the wife, and 7 children. Fi nas kida, you said, the whole family of jinn, you went to a place and the family of jinn was living there, and you did not say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, and they got your body. MashaAllah, and the whole community now will have jinn now, MashaAllah. Sahih, and become millionaire in no time. And people will pay. Wallahi, people will pay in this. And I'm telling you, rarely people don't respond. Okay, so once they go to that person, he got you. It does not matter how good you are, because they will play in this insecurity, right? And they will play in your curiosity, and they will play on your need. That's the worst thing ever, to play on somebody's need. They will come and say, this. Okay, what should I do? First of all, you give me $500. And number 2, we're going to do this. And I have to do the house. And I have to do this. And your clothes. And your gold. And your this. And your that. And they will create all this waswas for you. You know what waswas is? You kind of doubt everybody and everything around you. Now you're a good customer now. Forever. Right? So they will tell you are healed once they are satisfied. $500, $200, $50, this, that, like this, until they, very good, they got you. And they say, you're healed. Then you have now the waswas in your head. They planted the seed in your head. Okay? So 2 months later, you come and say, you know, Sheikh, I got healed from this, but I have new issues. Said, that's a separate deal now. And that's how it goes. Allahu la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum. That's your secret right there. Read this ayah. Rasul said, you read this ayah in the morning, Allah protect you until night. You read this ayah at night, Allah protect you in the morning. Read the أواخر في البقرة لله ما في السماوات وما في الأرض وإن تبدوا ما في أنفسكم أو تخفوه until the end of surah. قل هو الله أحد قل أعوذ برب الفلق قل أعوذ برب الناس. Do you know the power of these things? This power of these things is like nuclear power. يعني it's like nuclear weapon. You know, it's not a joke. But we sometimes, you know, want something superstitious, like something like this. You know, I'm hanging something on my chest, or I'm putting something in my pocket, or the Sheikh give me something like I have to do this. Allah Azza wa Jalla give us this Quran to put in the shelf. That's the most powerful weapon right there. Quran. وَنُنَزِّلُ مِنَ الْقُرْآنِ مَا هُوَ شِفَاءٌ وَرَحْمَةٌ لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ. Allah says شِفاء. قل هو الله أحد قل أعوذ برب الفلق قل أعوذ برب الناس. It's like amazing. Ayatul Kursi, Surah Al-Fatiha. I told you before, the shortest one, Fatiha, beginning of Baqarah, Ayatul Kursi, end of Baqarah, and then قل هو الله أحد قل أعوذ برب الفلق قل أعوذ برب الناس. 5 minutes to recite everything. Fatiha, first 5 ayahs of Surah Al-Baqarah, Ayatul Kursi, last 3 ayahs of Surah Al-Baqarah, last 3 surahs of Quran. قل والله أحد قل أعوذ برب الفلق قل أعوذ برب الناس. If you repeat each one 7 times, actually it's much better. If you can't and you can do 3 times only, alhamdulillah, good. If you do 1 time each because you are in a hurry or something, still good. Make this your recitation in the morning and at night. Make this your recitation after every salah. Make this your recitation whenever you are afraid. Make this your recitation whenever you are in need. Make this your recitation before you do any dua or after you do any dua. What you choose. Do it 10 times a day. MashaAllah, great. You understand? So this, you stay with the protection of Allah at all times and leave this sihr, sha'wada, all this, that doesn't have any value. Asma of Allah, the names of Allah, Asma'ullah al-Husna, Asma'ullah al-Husna. طبعا there is a tariqah, I'm not much in support of that, but some people will say the tariqah. In tariqah means method, يعني. To praise Allah Azza wa Jalla subhanahu wa ta'ala. طبعا أسماء الله الحسنى, you have to understand the name of Allah. You have to know when to use it, right? When to use it and how to use it. How to use it. يعني you committed a problem, so you committed the sin. You say Ya Ghaffar, Ya Tawwab, Ya Ghafoor, right? The maghfirah. You are sick, Ya Shafi, Ya Mu'afi. You need something from people. You say Ya Kafi, Ya Kafi, Ya Allah, you are the enough. You want rizq, Ya Razzaq, Ya Fattah, Ya Mun'im, Ya Muqit. All this for the rizq and the money and all of that. For the children, Ya Warith, for the weakness, Ya Qawi. طيب? If you know the meaning of each, you know when to use each. How? You have to have tahara. You don't sit in any place, right? You might be sit when you're driving, when you're sitting, but not in an area where people are making noises and all that. You have to be calm, and say and all that. So this is one way of doing. Another way is that you sit in a place that there is no distraction. That's why people turn the lights off sometimes, and we don't understand why, right? So they kind of don't want to be distracted visually or, or auditory. They don't want to be distracted by ear, so you want to sit in a place away from people. And you don't want to be distracted visually, so you dim the light and all of that. You understand now why? So, because you don't want to be distracted. And you don't want to be in a place that's cluttered. That's why the masjid, subhanAllah, is like spacious, right? You don't want to be a place cluttered and all of these issues around you. So you choose a place like that and you sit and you do the dhikr as many times as you can. Dhikr of Allah Azza wa Jal. Some people, they come and say, we do by numbers. How you decide the number? They say every letter in Arabic has a value. في حاجة اسمها حساب الجمل الكبير. حساب الجمل. يعني every letter has a value. طبعا in Arabic it is not ألف باء تاء ثاء جيم حاء خاء دال. That is the alphabetical order. They put it by shape. So ba, ta, and tha, they look like each other. They put them beside each other, right? Jim, ha, kha, they put them by shape. But the original is not that. Original is abjad, hawwas, hutti, kalamun, sa'afash, qarshat, like that. So alif, ba, jim, dal, ha, waw, zay. That's the order of the letters. Yeah, that's the order of the letters in Arabic. You didn't know that one before? You didn't know that? Okay. So it's called abjadiyya. Abjadiyya, tartib al-abjadi, means the tartib of the letters. Tartib of the letters. So abjad, alif, ba, jim, dal, there's a word. Write it. Abjad. Then hawaz, hawa, zay. Okay. حطي حا طايا كلم كاف لام ميم نون okay. صعفص سين عين فاء صاد قرشت قاف راء شين تاء ثخذ ثاء خاء ذال ثاء with the tongue, then خاء and ذال ض ظا and غين at the end. So أبجد 4 letter, هوز 3 letter, حطي 3 letter, كلم 4 letter, سعفص 4 letter, قرشت with the تا 4 letters, ثخذ 3 letter, ض ظا and غين 3 letter. Okay, so those are the tartib or the order of the abjadiyya. Abjad tartib يعني. Alphabetical tartib is like by shape, like the one that we teach the kids. But this is how we learn it when we were young. Okay, alif, ba, jim, dal, ha, waw, zay, like that. Okay. Now, they say that alif is number 1, right? Ba, that's 2. Jim is 3, Dal is 4. Follow with me because it's important. Yani. Dal is 4. I want you to be aware of it. I don't want you to believe in it, but I want you to be aware of it. Okay, so don't think that I'm endorsing this, what is coming. Yani. I'm just showing you some knowledge which is there. Some people use it, some people abuse it. All right? And I'll tell you a few things to know that this person is doing magic or not doing magic if you go to them. Yani. By these letters and stuff, okay? So, alif 1, ba 2, jim 3, dal 4, ha 5, waw 6, zay 7, ha 8, right? Ta 9, ya 10. Now 10 letters, right? They go from 1 to 10. The next will be 20, 30, 40, 60. They're not going to be 11, 12, 13. Okay? The value. Each letter has a value. So alif has a value what of 1. Ba has a value of 2. Dal has a value. Jim has a value of 3. Dal has a value of 4. You can find it in Google, by the way, if you look. Then Ya is 10, then Kaf is 20, Lam is 30, Mim is 40, Noon is 50, right? Then Sin is 60, Ain is 70, Fa is 80, and the Sa is 90, and Qaf is 100. Then after that, 200, 300, 400. Okay? So it's not like, the first 10 will go 1 to 10, then the next one will be 20, 30, 40, then the next one will be 100, 200, 300, like that. You got it? Okay. So the Qaf is 100, and the Ra is 200, Sheen is 300, and the Ta is 400, then the Tha is 500, Kha is 600, Dal is 700, then Dad is 800, Dha is 900, and Ghain is 1000. 28 letters. Now we know the order of letters. Then now we know the value of letters. I'm telling you again, this is not what. Now people say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim is what? 687, remember? 786, something like that. Do you know this or no? Some people go Bismillah ar-Rahim and they calculate. So the Ba is 2, and then you go and see the Sin. The Sin is like, 60. And then the Mim, you have, the Mim is like 40. And they add all of those, and they give you a number. So that some people, they put the masjid code on that number. Some people, they want to give mahr, in the marriage. They put that number. Some people write you a check like that. 650, they give you 687. Like barakah. You understand now where the numbers related to the letters? Okay. Now they're going to go one step further and relate these to the stars. Okay? So the stars, they will say, and that's where your zodiac, the iris, and the scorpion, and all of this coming from that. Okay? So they say that the moon is that value, right? As this thing. And then they will calculate the birth date, the name of the person and the name of his mother. They will give a value, a number, and then they will calculate the birth date, and then they will calculate those stars based on their numerical values, this astrology, right? And then they will come and say, okay, those numbers, they divided by each other, and they give you a number at the end, and that becomes like your lucky number or not your lucky number. Then you have a birthstone or not a birthstone. Then you have like this is your favorite day and not your favorite day. Yeah, they will go like that. And then it will go to this science of astrology that some of it is okay, some of it is not okay. All right, most of it is actually not okay. And the people will come and say your stars are aligned or your stars are not aligned. Don't travel at that time and travel at that time. Yeah. So it is like that. So those people that they do this, magic and this kind of things, they depend on this science big time. All right. So some people also, they want to use it in a good way now. Now, let's say my name, Mamdouh, right? Mamdouh. So Mim, Dal, Waw, Ha, right? So they'll go and say, okay, what's Mamdouh? Mim twice, that's 80, right? 40 and 40 is 80, right? Then Dal is one time, it's 4. And then you have Waw, which is 6. And then the Ha, which is 8. I don't know the number, but you just add those together and that becomes my value. Okay? The value number. It doesn't mean like you have less number means you have a lesser value. It doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that at all, right? It means like you have a number now, okay? And then they come and say, okay, this is the day of the year, and this is the year, and this is the month, so this will not go with that. They go crazy on these things, right? طيب. Some of the good ones, now they say, all right, Mim, what are the names of Allah that starts with Mim? You understand? You have al-mu'min, al-muhaymin, al-malik. So write those down. Okay? Mu'min, muhaymin, malik. And it's twice. Okay? So, dal, you have al-da'im, al-dayyan, right? Name of Allah. Al-waw, al-wahid, right? You have and other names يعني. And then you have the halim, right? I'm just giving you examples, right? But they will write all the names that starts with that letter. So what are the names that start with mim? What are the names starts with dal? What are the names starts with waw? And what are the names starts with ha? Okay? Then you pick one name only. Yani if mim starts with 3, mu'min, muhaymin, malik, pick one. So let's say I'll pick al-muhaymin, مثلا يعني, or al-malik, or al-mu'min, it doesn't matter. You just pick one. And you write it down under the letter. Mim, so this is muhaymin. Mim, maybe I'll choose another one for the other mim, يعني, right? Malik. Dal, da'im, right? Waw, al-wahid, right? Wahid. And the ha, maybe al-hafiz or al-halim, right? I write al-halim or hafiz. طيب, mim is how many? How much? 40, right? So I'm going to write 40 under, and 40 under the other one. And the dal is 4, right? And waw is like 6, and the ha is like 8, correct? Right? Those are the numbers that I mentioned the name of Allah. So every day I say mim, the first one I'm going to say Ya Muhaymin, Ya Muhaymin, Ya Muhaymin, Ya Muhaymin 40 times. Ya Malik, Ya Malik, Ya Malik, Ya Malik 40 times. Dal, Ya Da'im, Ya Da'im, Ya Da'im 4 times. Waw, Ya Wahid, Ya Wahid, Ya Wahid, Ya Wahid 6 times. Ha, Ya Hafiz, Ya Hafiz, Ya Hafiz 8 times. Yani, just example, something out there. I'm not telling you that I endorse this, but I'm just telling you. Some people, even you go to them and the person is stressed out or something, and they don't believe that they don't have magic on them, right? You keep convincing them, مفيش فايدة, right? You have to give them something. So you're going to write those on a piece of paper, and tell them, carry this with you. Okay? And what you wrote in it, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, or this kind of names, and you tell them, carry it. And they carry it and say, oh, I feel good since it's placebo's effect, you know? You know placebo's effect? It's the same thing. You know, I print it on the computer and I tell them, you carry this, inshallah, everything will be fine. They are depending on the paper, which is not a good thing. It's haram, yani, right? I'm not saying I do that, but I'm just telling you, like, you know, I means here, not me, yani, but I'm just saying that the person that they deal with will do that. But sometimes I give them the paper, I said, read it. I'm not giving them to carry it. You understand? So I write for them the names of Allah, and I tell them, read those 100 times every day. And this is the paper for you. It's a good thing. So they feel that now they have something like physical in their hand, and they feel so good after it. They feel so good. And what is written in it is basically names of Allah, you know, like I'm not saying that do this or do that or drawing things for them and stuff like that. But that's one way, yani, to do. يعني طبعا nobody can tell you this is haram or halal. مفيش text on it يعني. But if you believe that you cannot worship Allah except like that, then it's a problem. Oh, I have to say it 4 times or I have to say it 8 times. Then you get stuck with that. Just say as much as you can. I'm just giving you like something out there, يعني, some of the. And some people go with this numerical interpretations to the extreme. They go to the Quran, start counting the letters, and say this surah is that, this value is that. So you have a surah of the Quran that goes with your name, and oh yeah, and you have an ayah of the Quran that goes with your name, and you have a name of Allah that goes with your name. Yeah. So this is something that. طيب. We know that in harming or deviating, this is the harming physically and harming spiritually. Harming physically, we talked about it. Harming spiritually by deviating the people, and shaitan does not have power except inviting people only. He does not have power to push you or make you do the wrong. He does not have that power. You are the one who have the power to choose the right and the wrong. He just invites. He shows you. It's like somebody said, I like that. Yeah, that's it. Do you want to try the smoke? That's it. But they cannot put it in your mouth. So who is the one who takes the smoke and put it in their mouth? You and me. Okay? So shaitan's job stops where? Invitation. But he's a good salesman. Yani when you go to the dealership and the salesman, was so good that made you drive a car outside. Yani you took a car. You lifted the car. Yani. Did he put you in the car? Did he push you? Did he reach and take the checkbook from your hand? He didn't do any of that. Did he make you stay there 3 hours against your will? No. He had this hypnotic effect on you that he found the channel, what you exactly like, and he tapped into it. Each one of us has a channel. Once I know exactly your likes and dislikes, I can control you like a child. And that's why people, subhanAllah, Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam warned us. He said, the worst thing that I'm afraid for my ummah is a munafiq, a hypocrite who is very eloquent. Alimul lisan. Yujadilu bil Quran. Yani he has always an ayah of what he says as a proof. Taban, the lay person does not know the Quran, let alone how to use it. And there is someone, every word ayah, every word ayah. How would you know that he is imposter or not? You find someone, Quran, you said, oh, like that. You find all these people in the satellite channels, Quran, hadith. Only someone knowledgeable will sit there and sift whatever they're saying, right? But now the lay person, he's hearing what? Ayat of Quran. قال رسول الله Bukhari, Muslim, Nisa'i, Tirmidhi, Quran, ayah number this, ayah number that. And you're like, whoa, like this. صح? But how do you know? You have to be like on a scholarly level to see all this, like whatever he says, this ayah is true, but it does not prove anything of what you say. Yeah, yani you talk for 1 hour. No single ayah of what you say prove the point that you're trying to make. But I have to have that knowledge to answer. You understand me? That's why Rasulullah said this is the worst enemy. Why? Because he will deviate thousands and hundreds of thousands of people. That's why you go to our towns and our villages, you said, Sheikh such and such said, who's that Sheikh? And he does not even have a certificate in religion. But he's using of the Quran. Now you understand why a person is eloquent is very, very, very troublesome. Why? Because he affects you. But he cannot take you from guidance to deviation. He cannot do that. Shaitan cannot do that. You're the one who make the choice. Okay? You're the one who make the choice. Well, he had armies. We talked about that. We had armies. Armies who are riding, armies who are infantry, walking, armies who have everything. Some of them, they will persuade things. Some of them, they will put ideas in your head. Some of them will make people do things for you. We talked about the girl and the man who came, Shaitan brought to eat. Remember? So Shaitan can bring other. And don't be offended. That's why Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said the woman comes out and the Shaitan is having a customer. Yani. It's not because he wants to misguide her. No, he wants to misguide others with her. You understand? So you're not like you're not bad in yourself, but he can use you as a tool. Why? Because the woman has this beauty, prettiness, whatever you call it, attraction, and the shaitan wants to reveal that more because it's not about her. It is about those who are going to look at her. You understand me? This is the trouble. That's why the sisters, you are not only, it's not only about you. It's about who is going to be deviated because of you. So whenever you are wearing hijab or wearing this, you are helping not only yourself, but you are helping many of the servants of Allah, and you're getting reward for all of those as well. That's what I tell. Imagine if you are walking in a place and you are dressed modestly. What would be the reaction of the men or the people there? No reaction, no negative reaction. They respect. Even you find a woman, subhanAllah, dressed properly, you find the men putting their head down. But she's covered. Why are you putting your head down? And if the woman is uncovered, everybody's like, طب يعني supposed to be the opposite. Supposed to be what? Opposite. وهذا عمل الشيطان. But see, the respect increases the more you go closer to Allah. يعني sometimes a woman wearing niqab, I cannot look at her in the face. There is no face, and I'm not seeing anything. But still you are like more respect. This is the fitra. You know fitra inside? Yeah. So الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول تخرج المرأة يستشرفها الشيطان. يعني الشيطان is waiting. How she's dressed, how she's going to walk, how she's going to talk, and he uses that to deviate someone else. That's a problem. That's why Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said that the women at the end of time, when they are kasiyat ariyat, kasiyat, they are dressed but not dressed. You know, dressed but not dressed. It's either the dress shows their skin, yani transparent, or the dress is so tight that describes. Either or. Mukasiyat, yani he said they are dressed. But ariyat means naked. طب how a person is naked and dressed at the same time? يعني whatever they dress, whatever they are wearing, as if it is nothing. That's the meaning of that. Alright? So على رؤوسهن مائلات مميلات. يعني they are like walking, crooked, and they're making people go crooked as well. وهو امرأة مائلة. مائلة يعني instead of walking straight, she's walking like this. What does that mean? You know the high heels? She's going to be walking like this. That's the meaning. Rasul said مائلة. يعني this is straight and this is مائل. There is nobody's going to walk like this. You have to understand the language, right? Rasul said هي مائلة مميلة. يعني how مائلة مميلة? يعني someone walking like this and everybody's like looking like this. She goes like this and everybody goes like this. You know the catwalk, they on the, so one leg here and one leg here, one leg here and one leg here. Am I right? Getting it there? So they do that, otherwise she's going to fall, right? They have to balance herself. So anyways, that the mumila means wherever it goes, people are following. So now she is not the only one who is deviated, but there is an army behind her deviated as well. Now the curse of Allah be upon her because of all of this. Yani when a person deviates, they are accounted for their own self. But if all these people deviated because of you, subhanallah, yani this is a bigger problem now. Even when you make tawbah, yani how this is going to be fixed? Well, these people will come Yawm al-Qiyamah and say, they deviated me. That's why, those people who are famous and celebrities, when they repent, their issue is bigger than you think. But Allah Rahim, Allah Ghafoor Rahim, but what I'm trying to say is like, people behind you. And imagine now if you do something good, and people are good because of you. Now, this is what we advise people who were the cause of deviating many, said, be the cause of guiding many. All right? So you balance it out. The more your issue affected people, now you should affect people in goodness. So give hope to anybody who is like that. Give them hope still. You can do lots of good things. So shaitan would do that. Right. Also, a way of shaitan deviating is the Qareen. Qareen, each one of us has a shaitan that will never abandon you. Oh yeah, he's always stuck with you. Not a good one, huh? يعني you have shaitan assigned to you. واحد من جنود إبليس بتاعك يعني مكتوب على اسمك. يعني your name, engraved your name with them and everything. I talked a little bit about Qareen before, but there is a hadith في صحيح مسلم, حديث in صحيح مسلم. سيدة عائشة رضي الله عنها said خرج النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم من عندي ليلة فغرت عليه. رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم left one night my room at night, so I became jealous. She thought that he's going to another one. Women are women everywhere, But وهذا رسول الله يعني She knows more than anyone else that he will never transgress her. She knows that very, very, very well. But nature, right? So she said, فَغِرْتُ عَلَيْهِ. Then he came back and he saw that I'm up and I'm not happy. فقال ما لك يا عائشة فجاء فرأى ما أصنع. He came and found that I'm not settled. So قال ما لك يا عائشة, what's wrong يا عائشة? أغرتي? You were jealous? Were you jealous? قالت, she said, يعني قلت وما لي لا يغار مثلي على مثلك. شايف هي smart. She doesn't want to say, yes, I'm jealous and you going and you're not telling me. She didn't do that. Why I'm telling you? Because this is what happens now, right? Now, she answered a very smart answer. She said, of course I'm jealous. And why someone like me wouldn't be jealous for someone like you? Right? So she's not praising him alone, she's praising herself too. And instead of saying, I'm young, I'm beautiful, I'm this, I'm that, and you are Rasulullah, I love you, da da da, she just summarized it in one sentence. Of course, someone like me would be very jealous for someone like you. Yani you are wanted by everybody, but I'm beautiful too. Right? So, and women do that all the time. Whenever there is credit, they want to have credit with the husband. And if she is accused of something, she wants to bring the husband with her as well. In his credit, she wants to share. And in her disadvantage, she wanted him to share. في القرآن موجود يعني ها Quran, when Allah Azza wa Jal give glad tidings to the wife of Sayyidina Ibrahim, Sarah, that she's going to have a child, right? وامرأته قائمة فضحكت فبشرناها بإسحاق ومن وراء إسحاق يعقوب. Give her Ishaq, glad tidings, you are going to have a son, his name is Ishaq, and Ishaq is going to grow and become Yaqub after him. قالت يا ويلتى أألد وأنا عجوز. يعني woe to me, I give birth after this age. She was like 80 years old or something. I become pregnant and give it. Then she realized that she is accusing herself of old age, right? وهذا بعلي شيخة, and my husband is old too. So I'm not the only one who's old, but he's old too. How are we going to have a child? Yani she said, how am I going to become pregnant and, right? How are you going to become pregnant because of your husband, right? So her husband, oh, he's old too. Right? So that is how it works. So Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, when she said that somebody like me has to be jealous for someone like you, قال أقد جاءك شيطانك. يعني your shaitan came, your shaitan came. So she said, قالت يا رسول الله أو معي شيطان. يعني there is a shaitan with me. يعني he said your shaitan is present. He's the one who gave you this idea, right? So she said, do I have a shaitan? قال نعم. Yes. قالت ومع كل إنسان شيطان. يعني she wants to know, is this shaitan for Aisha only? Or with everybody there is a shaitan and you're one of them? Smart, I'm just telling you our conversation. قال نعم. Yes. With every human being there is a shaitan. طبعا shaitan is a bad. We talked about it before. Jinn, not necessarily. Ifrit is the jinn with superpower. Can be good, can be bad. But shaitan is the ifrit, but in a bad way. You get it? So jinn is the species, is the type. Has everything like us, like humans, human being. Then you have some humans who are super smart or super fast or super strong. في الجن كده في عفريت يعني. And that one super strong can be good or can be bad. But then shaitan is someone with super strength but used in what? Wrong. واضح؟ كده؟ So with every one of us there's shaitan. مش عفريت بقى can be good or bad. لا هو شيطان. قالت ومع كل إنسان شيطان. يعني with every human is a شيطان. قال نعم. قلت ومعك يا رسول الله. How about you? So do I have a shaitan? Yes. Does every human have a shaitan? Yes. What about you? قال نعم me too ولكن ربي أعانني عليه حتى أسلم. Allah helped me until he became a Muslim. From that we understand that your control over your Qareen is based on your actions. Yeah, you might not be able to make him Muslim, but you neutralize his effect. So some people sometimes they said, how Iblis is whispering for everybody. لا, ما Iblis doesn't have to. Iblis have all this Qareen everywhere. All right? So there is Qareen for you, for her, for her, for her, for me, for everybody. And there is a boss of Qareen of Houston يعني. صحيح. There is a boss of Qareen in Houston. And there is a boss Qareen في governor Qareen يعني. Of the area. في president Qareen بتاع الكونتري. وفي ملك القرين بتاع القرين العالم كله يعني. They have a king يعني. ملك القرائن هذا ملك القرناء هو king شيطان يعني, right? And everybody reports to him with the hierarchy يعني. You understand the way it works? And all these big ones are the ones who stand in front of Iblis to give him the report. So Iblis does not have to come himself يعني. هو اللي بيعمل البلانز strategies and they give him the report كده in you know what happened. We have like 1,000 people deviated, 500 people drink, 500 people commit zina, these people commit that in my area, and they report to the, and then the king comes and said, on earth today, this many people did that, this many people did that, when they give a report to the shaitan. Yeah. I'm just giving you a peek in that world. طيب يعني some people they are so powerful. الأنبياء طبعا prophets that the shaitan become a Muslim. طبعا once become a Muslim خلاص he is not gonna harm. But he is not Muslim and he is deviant and he is a shaitan. His care all the time is to deviate you. So once you drop your guard, he's gonna get in. So you can be praying and fasting and all that, but then will be those moments if you are alone or something like that, you want to disobey. He gets there. That's why we say always do the dhikr, always be, engaged and all of this. طبعا there is another hadith. You have a shaitan and you have an angel, by the way. You know that one? You know that they say guardian angel, but there's not a guardian angel. This is also a qareen of angels. You have one qareen of shaitan and one qareen of the angels. The angels guide you. Whenever you find your heart like want to do something good, how an angel is helping you out. والشيطان is telling you no. You see this cartoon that one red and one white. هو في حديث والله في حديث. There is a hadith. Listen to this hadith. Imam Muslim also in his Sahih, Imam Ahmad قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم, Rasulullah said, ما منكم من أحد إلا, none of you except وقد وكل به قرينه من الجن وقرينه من الملائكة. He had one from ملائكة assigned, one from jinn assigned. Jinn he saw shaitan, يعني not Muslim, but ملائكة مؤمن, believer. لا يعصون الله ما أمرهم. ملائكة cannot be deviant, cannot be lying, cannot be, is good, pure good. But your qareen of that, pure evil. قالوا وإياك يا رسول الله. How about you يا رسول الله? قال نعم ولكن الله أعانني عليه. Allah عز وجل helped me فأسلم, like he told Aisha, right? The Sahaba asked him the same thing. He said, but he added here something. He said he became a Muslim. فلا يأمرني إلا بخير. يعني both of them are telling me good things. So you have this evil thoughts and you have these good thoughts, and you are the one in control of which one goes up or down. It's a struggle, I know. It's very, very hard, right? That's why you always keep with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why you'll find those good days and those some not so good days. And that's why the women, when they are in their period, they are like a little bit issue because there is no salah, so you can do dhikr, you can continue the dhikr, you can be with good association, the family should be helping around and all of that. ويقول الله في القرآن سورة فصلت verse 25 ومن يعش عن ذكر الرحمن نقيض له شيطانا فهو له قرين. قرين شيطان. Whoever goes away from the dhikr of Allah, shaitan will take over. نعم. وقيضنا لهم قرناء, and we made the qareen for them. فزينوا لهم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم. So first one is Zukhruf 36, second one is Fussilat 25. الزخرف 36 and Fussilat 25 is the proof that people have qareen. والقرين شيطان. Shaitan is saying evil things, bad things, leading to hellfire. Right? That's clear in the Quran. But the hadith telling us you have also qareen of angels. So whenever you do more dhikr and all of that, you're giving power to who? To the angel. You're making the shaitan like blocked, and the angel is giving you more. But whenever a person is away from Allah, you're giving the qareen السوء هذا, giving him the bad effect. طيب, are there helpers of humans? Yes, I told you before. يعني shaitan sometimes cannot access you directly. He will access you through a deviant human being. That's why sometimes there's weakness, especially if it's a family member and stuff, or a spouse, or this or that. So shaitan can access and attack the person through someone else who's weak. Right? Human being. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying in the Quran, أفتتخذونه, you're taking Iblis يعني, وذريته and his offspring أولياء من دوني وهم لكم عدو, you're taking them as أولياء. يعني humans here taking what? أولياء of الجن والشياطين. They are becoming friends with them. بئس للظالمين بدلا, سورة الكهف verse 50. ومن يتخذ الشيطان وليا, whoever takes شيطان وليا من دون الله other than Allah فقد خسر خسرانا مبينا, great loss. سورة النساء verse 119. So here telling us that people taking shaitan as wali. والذين كفروا أولياؤهم الطاغوت يخرجونهم من النور إلى الظلمات. Yes, Surah Al-Baqarah 257, Surah Fatir verse 6. All of these ayat I mentioned to you proves that humans take awliya, Iblis and his offspring, shayateen. Yani taking them as friends. How you take somebody as friends? You listen to them. Bad thought come, you act upon it. Bad thought come, you act upon it. Bad thought come, you act upon it. Who is having that effect on you? Your friend, your close friend is the one that whatever they tell you, you do. Yes? So Allah said you took them awliya like that. Does the shaitan help his awliya? No. He guided them to wrong and then he said, I don't have anything to do with you. In the dunya and in akhirah. كمثل الشيطان إذ قال للإنسان اكفر فلما كفر قال إني بريء منك. I have nothing to do with you. غزوة بدر he told him قال لا غالب لكم اليوم من الناس وإني جار لكم. I am going to be your helper and all that. فلما ترى الجمعان نكص على عقبه قال إني أرى ما لا ترون. I'm seeing the angels. I'm afraid. السلام عليكم. Bye. He ran away. So he guides to wrong and he said, oh, you did it. Bad. That was Surah Al-Anfal verse 48. So shaitan will give up on his friends. You see what kind of friend? And still people taking as a friend. Every time he disappoints. Every time he gives you up. Every time, but still friend. Surah Ibrahim verse 22. Yawm al-Qiyamah he will say, I have nothing to do with you. Now, people are two types. Awliya of Allah wa awliya of the shaitan. إنا جعلنا الشياطين أولياء للذين لا يؤمنون. Surah Al-A'raf verse 27. Now, I told you before that the shaitan now has friends. He will use them to misguide those whom he cannot misguide directly. What is the proof from the Quran? Surah Al-An'am 121. وإن الشياطين ليوحون إلى أوليائهم ليجادلوكم. يعني shayateen give wahi, revelation, inspire their friends so they can argue with you. So shaitan is not attacking the believer, no, he is using someone to argue with the believer. Shaitan cannot come himself and say, what about this, what about this? أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. No, Quran is good, Quran is good. So he uses somebody and they bring the mushaf and they say, what does this ayah mean? Explain to me. How are you going to say أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم now? You say go, he said, oh, you are hiding the knowledge. What kind of scholar are you? Now you see the trick. If shaitan comes to me and says أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم, no. But now a human being coming and arguing now. ليجادلوكم وإن أطعتموهم إنكم لمشركون. If you obey them and you go behind, you will commit shirk. This ayah has a story. Surah Al-An'am 121. In Mecca, when Rasulullah accepted Islam, when Rasulullah invited those who accepted Islam, he told them not to eat from the animals, the dead animal, mayta yani, dead animal, or the animals slaughtered for other than Allah. Mushrikeen used to slaughter for their idols and all of that, and they eat the dead animal. Animal died, camel died or something, they will just go and cut it and eat it. Rasul said, don't eat that. So, only eat from what you slaughter. So the mushrikeen comes and tell the Sahaba, those little ones, little group around Rasulullah, still new, fresh, come and tell them, you, Muhammad tells you to eat only from what you kill with your knives, right? He said yes. And don't eat from the other animal that died without slaughtering, right? He said, yeah. He said, okay, who killed the other animal? You slaughter this one, but who caused the other animal? He said, Allah. He said, so you're eating from what your hands slaughter, but you don't eat from what Allah killed? Now that's the shaitan's argument, right? That's the ayah here, saying that shaitan give them this argument to argue with you, so you doubt your religion. Now you bring this argument here, actually it will create doubt for people now in the 21st century, right? But the answer is simple. Yes, Allah is the one who killed this, but Allah is the one who said don't eat it, right? But you see where the argument is? In the first, oh yeah, it makes sense. So first you have to abide by the rules of Allah, not when it makes sense to you first. Because it's going to make sense. It just needs someone to convince you. You understand? So when something is like not clear for you, said, La, I believe in Allah. And the rule is like that, that's what it is. There is explanation. There is no explanation, this is what it is. Explanation comes, alhamdulillah. Explanation doesn't come, alhamdulillah, it's still. Alright? So Allah said, if you obey them and start eating from mayta, you are mushrik. طب يعني eating from mayta does not make a person mushrik. You get it? So يعني if Allah said, if you obey them in their argument, you said, yes, it makes sense, let me eat from mayta. And there is someone, hypothetically speaking, يعني, ate from the mayta. Does that make a person mushrik? يعني when a person eats pork, does that make him mushrik? No. It makes him a disobedient. If a person drinks liquor and get intoxicated, does that make him mushrik? No. He just disobeyed Allah, right? But what makes him mushrik? If he considers it halal. You know, if he considers it okay. So the argument here will lead the person to say, yeah, it makes sense. You see? So now he bypassed the rule. Allah said it's haram, but you do it, still you know it's haram and you violated, you violated, right? That makes you a sinner. But when you say it's all right, why you are very retarded, this backward thinking. It's all right to eat from dead animal, Then a person become kafir wal-'adhu billah and mushrik. Why? Because they bypass the rule of Allah. Who makes the rule of halal and haram? And if you bypass that, then you are not Muslim. But if you violate it, you're still a sinner, right? It's a major deed, it's a major sin. But it does not take the person out of Islam. Two people drinking in the bar, one of them goes to hellfire and one of them repents and goes to Jannah. And both of them drink and both of them died in the accident, right? So the person died in the accident, first one, he knew that he should not do that, but he did it anyways. So Allah forgives. The other person was drinking because it is, this drinking was a rule before, who made it haram or whatever. Okay? So this is the different intention or the different approach. طيب. Couple of more things and we will finish inshallah. So people are awliya of Allah, Ar-Rahman, awliya of Ash-Shaytan. Also, Shaitan sometimes make things seem what they are not. And I'll tell you how the Sunnah. Do you know the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? He said, when you are three, two of you should not talk and isolate the third. You know that there is a hadith like that. Why? What is the main reason? Why when we are three, two of us should not be talking alone and leave the third one? Because he will think that we're talking about, and that's what Shaitan does. إنما النجوى من الشيطان ليحزن الذين آمنوا. In the Mecca time, Mushrikeen used to, whenever they see a Muslim, they go whisper, whatever. So he thinks that they are making plan against him. So become irritated and scared. Right? And that's what happens when people are insecure. You find the group sitting there, oh, they must be talking about me. Right? ليحزن الذين آمنوا. Bring the sadness in the heart. وَلَيْسَ بِضَارِّهِمْ شَيْئًا إِلَّا بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ. Will not harm you except with the permission of Allah. But you see the Sunnah, the adab of the Sunnah says, be careful, because you are three. If you want to say a secret, not now. When the third person go away, or when a fourth person join, so they can talk to each other and you can talk alone. And this includes speaking a different language. Yeah. We were sitting and then you start talking in your own language or whatever. If it's a group, it's okay. But I'm saying it's when it's three. If it is a group, it's okay. Only it's about three. If two people there speaking the same, well, it doesn't matter, They each one know a language and they choose a third language, fine. But if there is a third person, do not isolate, because you talk, and then suddenly you talk in your native language. So that moment they would think that there is something that you don't want them to hear. What is it? What is it going to be? It's about me. It's not about me. Really? Yeah? So that's why I'm trying to learn Malay good. Yeah. So it's very important that Sunnah and our teaching of the Deen blocks all these roads of shayateen. If the woman is going to deviate people the way she looks, the Deen tell her how she dresses and how she talks, right? If she is going to, her voice will say, don't, talk in that way. Anything, you'll find Islam is making a door, like a gateway, right? So if a man is going to do this, no, you cannot talk to a non-mahram, okay? I cannot be alone with my sister-in-law, right? She cannot be alone with her brother-in-law. Closing, the doubts in the head. Even if you are good, but not everybody is that. So the rule has to be for everybody. Even there is exception. But everybody has to abide. A man and a woman cannot be alone, except shaitan will be a third. All right? It applies to everybody. A woman by 60 and a man of 40, it doesn't matter. A man and a woman cannot be alone if they are non-mahram to each other. Even if they're going to teach Quran. Brother, I'm giving her da'wah. Ya akhi, don't give her da'wah. Or a sister comes, there is a brother I'm giving da'wah in the university. Don't give him da'wah. I will give him da'wah. Send him to me. It starts like that. Shaitan, as we said, if he does not come to you from straight, direct wrong, he will come to you from the right. Believe me. Shaitan will say, you know what? You need to go to the masjid and pray jama'ah. Shaitan tells you to go masjid, pray jama'ah. Yes, you know, you have to show yourself. Today is the most crowded day in the masjid. You have to show yourself. People have to see you that you are. So now you are not going for jama'ah. But he came to what? From a good deed. But he will mess it up for you. You know the story of the man who was going to Salat al-Fajr early, and then he falls in a puddle, and then he goes change his nice clothes and come back and falls in a puddle, and third time he find an old guy with a lamp. So there is a puddle over there, move here, move here, move here, until he reach the masjid. And then he tell him, we are not going to come in. He said, no, I don't pray. He tell him, what? He told him, I am a shaitan. I am the shaitan. Shaitan guiding me to come to the salah? He said, yes. Because if every time you fall in the puddle, Allah forgive sins. Allah Azza wa Jal, first time, He forgive your sins. And for the second time, Allah give you great reward. So if you fall third time, I think you're going to be guaranteed Jannah, and I lose a customer now. Easier for me that you pray Fajr today and I will work on you tomorrow. But I cannot afford this. For Shaitan sometimes will help you do good things because he doesn't want you to do bigger. He doesn't want you to do what? Bigger. So sometimes there is a cause. Yeah, go ahead, donate $100. Because if he don't donate, tomorrow you're going to donate 500. So tomorrow comes in, I donated yesterday. Khalas. I'm not going to attend the fundraising. I donated yesterday. You see? Because he knows that if this happens, there's a problem now. Mushkil. And Shaitan will come always in a salah that is good. He is not going to come to the salah that you do fast. Shaitan is not there. When you do salah fast, Shaitan is not there. Shaitan will come only when you do right. Like the person, he lost his money. Abu Hanifa told him, go pray 2 rak'ah, pray night. And then he pray all night, he made wudu, and when he said Allahu Akbar, he remember where he hide the money. So he goes run. He did not even finish the rak'ah. And he goes in the morning, and he told him, did you pray the night? He said, I found the money. He said, did you pray the night? Oh, found the money, khalas, solved. So he make him find the money is better for him than praying one whole night. You see the idea here? Shaitan will help you do good things because he does not want you to do better things. Will help you do better things because he does not want you to do the best. They said the worst enemy of best is good. The best enemy of best, the best is good. Like, if you say, it's good, this is good. No, but we are a standard here. So if you go here, it means you're bad now. That's not you. If you go down, it's not you. So Shaitan will bring you down. When you bring down, he will work you to go down. He will work like that. And it doesn't matter how much you achieve, but if he cannot deviate, at least you cannot reach the best for him. And he will use all humans. فَقَاتِلُوا أَوْلِيَاءَ الشَّيْطَانِ fight the awliya of the shaitan. إنما ذلكم الشيطان يخوف أولياءه. Shaitan is scaring you with his people. With his people. For jinn and ins, Shaitan is scaring you. فلا تخافوهم. Don't be scared of them. وخافوني. Be afraid of me. I will make them afraid of you. Surah Al-Imran 175. The majority of humans are the awliya of Shaitan. Majority. Allah says in Surah Saba, verse 20, وَلَقَدْ صَدَّقَ عَلَيْهِمْ إِبْلِيسُ ظَنَّهُ. Iblis, his assumption that I'm going to misguide all of them, actually happened. فَاتَّبَعُوهُ. They followed him. إِلَّا فَرِيقًا مِنَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. A group of believers. مؤمنين here مسلمين. Majority was shaitan. Even say Muslim. So always the guided, the sincere, all of that, they are the qalil. وَقَلِيلٌ مِّنْ عِبَادِيَ الشَّكُورِ. Allah says, and only a few, or the minority, are the thankful ones. Why? Because shaitan, he said, وَلَا تَجِدُ أَكْثَرَهُمْ الشَّاكِرِينَ. You will not find majority thankful. So he's not saying majority believers. لا. See, he's not working only making a Muslim kafir. لا, he's making a Muslim ungrateful. That's more important to shaitan. You know, a Muslim becoming ungrateful. Yani the Islam is not pure. Because most of the Muslims, is very hard for shaitan to come and take them from Islam to kufr. This is 99% who is not going to happen. Right? Someone who say La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah is not going to become a kafir because of shaitan. Yani. It takes lots of effort for a person to leave the religion. For a Muslim to leave the religion, it's a big, huge effort. Alright? So that's not the majority of shaitan's work. Majority of shaitan's work is to make Muslims drink, commit adultery, cheat, kill each other, yeah, and stay Muslim. Think you're staying Muslim, you know? Say la ilaha, go pray, yeah. But in business is business, man. Yeah? You know, you have to have the big house and all of that. It's okay. Go take the loan, like that. But you're Muslim, you're good. You're doing lots of good stuff. Yani this is the only one, no problem. So that is the majority of shaitan's work. All right? So فاتبعوه إلا فريقا من المؤمنين. طيب, stop it now. We have some time. So how long do I have? 5? Okay. We'll take a few more minutes, inshallah. What are the different styles of shaitan? Now we talked about who is the shaitan, his friends, Qareen, right? Qareen means the associate. Each one of us has associate of shayateen, associate of angels. So with your actions, you make which associate stronger than the other. Okay? So you have to be aware of that. So shaitan will not come, as I said, tell you leave all the good things you do and do all the bad. Will not do that. But he will do different ways. 1. تزيين الباطل, making wrong look good and making good look hard. Make sense? Making باطل زينة. You know زينة? يعني decoration. You know, you go drive your car and then you find lights and things and all that. What do? What is this? But there is a masjid dark, ما فيش يعني lights or anything like that. You pass by, even you don't even realize. Or sometimes you say, oh no, this masjid is scary, man, I cannot go. But all this nightclubs and all of this is lights and all that. تزيين ليه؟ باطل. Making the باطل decorated. And make the haqq look like باطل and باطل look like haqq. Mixing things. يعني Imam Ibn al-Qayyim, he said, shaitan's sihr, you know, sihr means taking away your ability to distinguish things. That's what sihr is. Sihr is taking your aql away, or your ability to distinguish. So سحروا أعين الناس, يعني at the time of Musa alayhi salam, people are seeing snakes on the, this is sihr. They made sihr to the eyes of the people, that they start seeing the ropes like snakes. But the magician himself, does he see a snake? No, he sees a rope. You get it? So the magician put a rope and he said, this is going to be a snake. So he stole your mind from you and make it believe what he wants you to believe. Right? But when Musa alayhi salam threw his cane, what did the magician see? A snake. That's why they made sajda. You get it? Because it is not magic. Magic and magic, we understand each other. Right? يعني magician وmagician زي ما بيقولوا احنا دافنينه سوا يعني. يعني we know the trick. They know the trick, right? So, here is the snakes. Fir'aun and everybody seeing snakes. Musa himself عليه السلام saw snake. He became scared. Allah said, لا تخف إنك أنت الأعلى. وألق ما في يمينك. Throw it. Not only it became a snake for the magicians, لا started eating the ropes. Snakes. So the people seeing a big snake eating the small snakes, and the magicians seeing the snake eating the ropes. So they saw that, no, this is not a human work here. The law of physics changed. يعني for them they only changed the ability to see. But for Musa alayhi salam, the cane became an actual snake, and it is eating the ropes and canes. So that's kind of like سجدة على طول. فألقي السحرة ساجدين قالوا آمنا برب العالمين رب موسى وهارون. مفيش كلام. There is no doubt that this is not human. Okay? So Shaitan has a sihr. Sihr is the ability not to distinguish, as I said. You're seeing something illusion as the reality. So you're seeing the illusion as reality. Now they have like this blanket. They invented already the blanket that when you put around you, it's kind of like make you disappear. You see through. You see what is behind you. It has like reflectors of some type. Yeah. And it is there. طبعا this technology is available. Always technology is available 10-20 years before it is becoming available for people. Sometimes 30. Sometimes not available at all, right? So those magicians and people, illusionists, they use that. They use these things, right? Like this guy who made the status of liberty disappear and all of this kind of thing. They use all of these things. And sometimes they put the stage on something goes around, like some wheel or something like that, the stage. So people are sitting and they are moving slowly in a very angle way. And then he make the show and all that. It's going to take 15 minutes. So within 15 minutes, he opens and they are looking the other side. They think like the status of liberty in this side, but it's actually the other side. And the people believe the illusion, right? Yeah. All the tricks, subhanallah, Allah makes another magician. He comes and reveal the tricks of the other magician. And he putting a mask on his face. There is a guy who does that. Every single trick of magic is revealed on YouTube. And he does it in front of you. Those who walk on water, those who do this, how they do these things. Illusion. It's all about illusion. So Imam Ibn al-Qayyim says, Shaitan does that to you. He makes right look wrong and hard and very harmful, and he makes what batil looks nice to you. So some people say, La, I cannot go to the masjid. I go to the masjid, there are extremists. These people terrorists. Or these people, they do this. Or these people do that. Haqq, فخلي batil. And I can hang with these people and all that. This batil makes it haqq. And Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam warned us from that as well. And sometimes the shaitan will make us misunderstand certain ayat of the Quran. Certain ayat of the Quran. عليكم أنفسكم. Only worry about yourself. But you have to see the context of the ayah. عليكم أنفسكم. يعني after you give the da'wah, after you أمر معروف, نهي عن المنكر, you did your best. People are not listening, so focus on yourself. Right? But they said عليكم أنفسكم. Quran is encouraging you to be alone. Don't worry about people. And some people will pick this ayat like that. They call it cherry picking, right? Pick the ayat like that and they come throw it at you. And if you don't know, you get confused. That's how he deviated Adam. Alayhi salam. How he deviated Adam. Yeah, it's very clear order of Allah said, don't eat from that tree. Khalas. Allah created you. Allah said, don't eat from that tree. Don't ask why. Don't ask. Just do it. And you have millions of other trees. But the shaitan come and tell him, there is a reason Allah told you not to eat from that tree. تكون ملكين أو تكون من الخالدين. Allah does not want you to be eternal like those angels. You're going to be an angel, or you're going to be eternal. So Adam said, oh, that's a good thing. I can be eternal to worship Allah forever, or I can be an angel, so let me eat. He did not verify. He forgot one thing. What did he forget? What did he forget? What Allah said after he said, don't eat from the tree. What did Allah warn him? Don't listen shaitan. He is like, إِنَّهُ عَدُوٌ لَكَ وَلِزَوْجِكَ فَلَا يُخْرِجَنَّكُمَ مِنَ الْجَنَّةِ فَتَشْقَى. He is going to get you out of Jannah, so be careful. So Adam disobeyed the part that Allah said, don't eat from the tree. And he disobeyed the order that don't listen to the shaitan. And he ended up suffering the same thing that Allah warned him from. And he is going to do that with all of us till Yawm al-Qiyamah. So be careful. He will always make something wrong look nice to you. That's why you find people coming and asking for fatwa, not to know the Islamic ruling. They want justification of the wrong. Right? They don't want Islamic ruling. If you want Islamic ruling, you will ask before you do something. And you don't ask while you already decided. So some people already want to do something, but they keep asking a sheikh until they find someone says it's okay. Even when you find someone says it's okay, it's not okay. Because now you are shopping. You are not asking what is the deen. You are asking what agrees with my hawa, my desire. Yeah. قل هل ننبئكم بالأخسرين أعمالا. Allah said, do you want me to tell you the biggest losers in this earth? الذين ضل سعيهم في الحياة الدنيا, those who are deviated with their deeds in this dunya. وهم يحسبون, and they are thinking أنهم يحسنون صنعا, that they are doing right. Shaitan make them think that they are doing right. So you find people and say, yeah, boys and girls should be together and should be like that. They are together anyways. The women are mixing with men. Why we separate in the masjid? يعني, this is one of the examples I'm trying to give. Like somebody said, we are mixing, gender mixing everywhere. Why we separate in the masjid? You see the da'wah? You see the da'wah here? Why this is a very dangerous claim? Anybody can tell me why this is a very dangerous claim? Well, yeah, Sheikh, all men and women, they are mixing everywhere and smiling at each other and talking with each other and all of that. Why are you making a big deal in the masjid? We go to weddings and parties and all that, and men and women sit on the same table. Why you segregate in the masjid? Huh? Yeah, but the premise here, the premise means that the foundation where they establish the argument is what? There is no difference between outside and the masjid. Right? Well, you have to know the argument. You have to know logic. If you know logic, nobody can beat you in discussion, right? You know the logic. So now, this claim is based on a foundation. What is the foundation? Yani masjid should be like outside the masjid. So we do something outside, why we don't do it in the masjid? Right? So if one of them says this is masjid, the same like outside. If they say no, that means your argument is invalid. No further discussion. Thank you. You see how? This is very important. When somebody throw a claim at you, just go one step behind. Go one step behind and say, why are they saying this? Based on what? You already assume something. Yeah, you can do whatever wrong outside. You come to the masjid here, you have to be clean. All right? You have to be clean. Okay, you can sit on a coffee shop and do certain things. Can you sit and do the same in the masjid? Exactly. So you cannot, anything outside is not necessarily applicable in the, and everything in the masjid not necessarily applicable outside. So don't draw this. That's number one. Number two, what is another miscalculation, another foundation? If I am doing this at certain time, I can do it at any time. Is that valid? No, I can do certain things in the morning, but I cannot do them at night. So yeah, you can be talking and mixing and all of that, but at night you decide not to. Nobody can tell you anything. You get the idea? So time and place, they are not equal. Yani, with the time, you can decide to do something at certain time, but not at another time. Right? A woman can come and say, you know what, I'm going to go to that gathering today, but tomorrow I'm not in the mood to do it. You get the idea? So it doesn't mean that you did it once, you have to do it twice. You have to do it 3 times, and you have to do it every time. That's invalid assumption. And whatever outside can be done in the masjid, that's invalid assumption number 2. You understand? And I can go on and on, but this is too enough, yani. Right? So some women said, I want to cover my face when I come to the masjid, but I uncover outside. I said, all right. So some people said, why ya Sheikh? What is this logic يعني? She's uncovered in front of the whole world and she covered in front of her brothers in Islam? I said, yeah. Because here we have close proximity to each other. Women and men cross very close to each other a lot. She can cover her face in the masjid, yeah, but she's not wearing niqab anyways outside. If she wants to, I'm not saying she has to, but if she wants to, there is no problem. Yani if niqab, I don't think it's fard. You can put it whenever you want, take it off whenever you want, whenever you feel what? Uncomfortable, right? So what I'm trying to say here, shaitan will play in those areas. So be careful with the logic. I finish with this. They say, if you know the grammar very well of a language, any language, yeah, any given language, if you know its grammar very well, and you know its rhetoric very well, how to use the figure of speech and how to use, nice words, choose your words. And if you know logic, you can rule any group of people. You can control any group of people. That's why you'll find all those dictators and everything, they have all three. They make logic out of everything, they make sense out of things, and they are very, very powerful, right? They speak language that to grab the hearts of people. They know how to use the language, grammar, and rhetoric, and then they have the logic. We need to do this because of that. We need to do this because of that. And because of this, that's what we are. We got defeated because we let this people do. Logic, right? If you let this Muslims come in more, this is what's going to happen. Look at what happened and this is what happened. Logic, right? Sometimes it's bad logic, but it is logic. Always use logic. And then you choose the words and put it in a nice sentence. You get what you want. So be careful of those who are using this at you. Always stop, go one step behind and see the foundation they based on it. You break the foundation, you break the argument. All right? So we stop here inshallah, and may Allah save us from shaitan and the helpers of shaitan. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, and we continue inshallah with this interesting series next week inshallah. Jazakallah khair.